It's the thing that everyone has been focused on in the transfer portal for Auburn. Will they bring in a quarterback? And the answer is yes. We now know who that is. Let's discuss the news and what it means for Hugh Freeze and Auburn football. War Eagle, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Kyle here at E2C Network, where we share the whole Auburn experience. As you're watching or listening today, be sure to drop a comment down below about this particular topic. It'll help enter you into that ongoing subscriber giveaway for a signed Auburn football prize package. Details are listed in the description link. And as always, we do want to thank members of our booster club like Corey Benson, who help produce videos like this. It has been eons since we've been able to talk about with some definitive nature about the Auburn quarterback transfer situation, with the news now breaking today of transfer Michigan State quarterback Payton Thorne deciding to join the Auburn Tigers for the 2023 season, putting all of the speculation to rest. He comes in as a 2-year starter at Michigan State, as technically a redshirt senior with a possible COVID year, so he could probably have up to 2 years of eligibility, and brings in a wealth of experience and would be the 14th transfer of the class so far in 2023. And of course, the second of the spring portal. Let's talk about the timeline of events that brought us to the point of the Auburn commitment today. Now, you know, he was a Michigan State guy, obviously, but before that, he was a Western Michigan commit before deciding to go with the Spartans in December of 2018, and eventually arriving on campus on the summer of 2019. He spent the last 4 years with the Spartans, having 1 year where he was a redshirt, and eventually, after this last season, in the 11th hour, literally decided to enter the transfer portal on April 30th. And from what I can tell, there wasn't a visit at all with this decision to enter the portal specifically for Auburn, but things are started to progress pretty quickly, and now we know the answer, that he's found his home at Auburn. Now let's talk about what you need to know about this particular transfer, the type of player that we're getting to be a part of the Auburn football team. He comes from Naperville, Illinois originally, and played for Naperville Central High School when he was playing at that level. And at that point, he was a 3-star prospect, and it seems like he's still 3-star now as a transfer, but maybe moving up closer to a 4 at this point. He's listed at about 6'2", approximately 210 pounds, and most people would consider him more of a pocket passer than a mobile quarterback. You can look at the stats alone, and that kind of paints the picture for you. Speaking of stats, let's talk about those now. You'll see some of those listed below here, and as you can tell, his best year was his first year as a starter in 2021, where he led the team, Michigan State Spartans, to a top 10 ranking at one point. Now, overall, when you look at some of the things that I'll point out here, played in a total of 29 games, had a completion percentage of approximately 61%, and also threw for 223 yards per game. And a few storylines around this commitment. Obviously, the biggest storyline is he kind of completes all the speculation about will Auburn bring in a quarterback in the spring. And the story goes that this is who Hugh Freeze has had his eye on for quite some time throughout the spring, wondering if he was going to even come available. And when he did, kind of changed things up a little bit, with Casey Thompson from Nebraska being in the mix at that point. A lot of people thought he was going to be the guy. So that has just been kind of a saga in and of itself to follow along. And now the storyline switches to what will the quarterback battle shape out now like at Auburn. Now that you know a little bit about this transfer, let's talk about what it means for Auburn football. We always start off by talking about the numbers in the class specifically. This will be the 35th commit to this 2023 class and the 14th transfer. It's also the 15th on offense and the second quarterback that we've taken in the 2023 class. Let's talk about the big thing. What's his future look like at Auburn? Most people will directly answer this and say, obviously, he's being brought in pretty much to start right away. But maybe it's not that simple. Let's look at the whole thing here. We now know that TJ Finley has decided to transfer out of Auburn, opening up the spot for Payton Thorne. But you've also still got Robbie Ashford, Holden Gerner here, and Hank Brown coming in. Now, no offense to Hank Brown, but he's just getting here. We're going to kind of remove him from that equation. Really, it shifts to the battle between those three guys, and really, it's probably a Robbie Ashford versus Peyton Thorne type of situation. You would think experience is going to win out, although Robbie does have the experience of being on this team in this conference, and that does play into his favor. It's going to be an intriguing thing that we shift our focus to, but I think you can honestly look at the situation as it stands right now and expect Thorne probably to start. Very briefly, let's talk about some regional discussions around his recruitment and the commitment. He is the first out of Illinois, being that's where he's from originally, and the first out of Michigan too, if you want to count that in there. Not really areas that Auburn goes into a lot, but great to have a connection up there in the Midwest that we can use to expand our recruiting reach even further. Just a fun little factor around this too. This is technically the second flip from Michigan State in this cycle, although that was a traditional high school commit in Colton Hood, who's an Auburn legacy, who thankfully wised up and came over here to Auburn. So if you want to throw that in there too, you can. And lastly, what does this particular commitment mean for the rest of the class at the quarterback position? That one spot that was opened up has been filled now. So technically you've got 4 scholarship quarterbacks on the depth chart right now. To me, that means there's no other spots available. Now, with him coming in, you could see someone make a last-minute decision here, despite how the portal windows lay out for them, and decide to transfer from opening up another spot. But at this point, it feels like the room is full, and this is who we're going to be working with for the 2023 year. So there you have it, my thoughts on Payton Thorne, your brand new commitment, your brand new transfer, your brand new Auburn quarterback. Would love to know your thoughts about him down in the comments section below. Be sure to do that because it does help enter you into that subscriber giveaway, and you got to be subscribed, so make sure you take care of that too. As always, check out those links in the description for ways that you can help support us here at E2C Network, where we share the whole Auburn experience. War Eagle.